So today we're taking a peek at a wonderful 2025 Toyota vehicle. Now in 2023 I reviewed the Toyota Highlander Hybrid. Thoroughly loved that vehicle. Absolutely wonderful vehicle to drive, nice and quiet. So today we're taking a peek at its big brother. This is the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid Max. Yeah, let's get into this. So welcome everybody to techgooch. This is the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander, which, like I said, I did the 2023 Toyota Highlander. Thoroughly loved that one. Actually, it took me a couple years to get one into review, but I finally got in one and I loved it. Drove fantastic, just like this guy does. Nice and smooth, just good handling. With the 2.4 cylinder turbo engine that this has the Hybrid Max package on it. I'm not gonna say it has like, oh my gosh, the giddy up, but it's not bad. So at all, and it has 5,000 pounds of towing capacity on this guy. So this guy is situated pretty awesome. Now it is a 3-row SUV. We're gonna go through all 3 rows, show you how much room it has, such like that. We're gonna look at the cargo room as well. So sit back, relax. Let's start with the outside. Okay, so let's do our walk around on the outside. Obviously, it has kind of, like I said earlier, the morning sun, get a lot of shadows on it, but then again, it is a great looking vehicle. So 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Hybrid Max with the platinum package on it. Now this is in their cement color. So that's what this outside color is, which I really like. I really like this cement color in the Tacoma as well. One of my favorite colors for that specific vehicle, and it looks really good here on the Grand Highlander. Big Grand Highlander badge there. Like I said, Hybrid Max powertrain on this guy, so we've got the badging there. Platinum series, or trim I should say. Very good looking vehicle, and of course we're going to get into the whole guts of this that makes it the Grand Highlander, because it's that 3rd row on there and everything. But yeah, let's get inside. All right, let's jump in this guy. Starting over here on the door, you can see the door controls, so you can see what the window controls and everything look like here. We have our knee panel here for the driver. Do have memories for 2 different seat memory positions. Because I had it parked. Okay. So we do have a nice modern Toyota driver information cluster here, that you do have obviously controls within the steering wheel here to actually modify this, change some of the settings. You can actually push and hold and change what each piece does. I'm not going to go into all this stuff because this is kind of the standard stuff, and I've gone through it before in previous videos, but it's the modern Toyota driver cluster here. This does have a heads-up display as well, so you can kind of see it there. Hard to see obviously with the camera without me doing all sorts of funky stuff for it, but just basically is a screen down there that bounces off the windshield, makes it easier to see what you're doing, how fast you're going and everything while you're going. So nice there. Moving on, 12.3-inch infotainment cluster here, which is kind of the standard larger widescreen that Toyota offers in their larger vehicles. It does have wireless CarPlay. Right now my phone's disconnected because I was away from it when I connected, so I could get my phone reconnected if I wanted to. But that said, it has wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, everything, so you don't have to worry about plugging it in. You have your standard climate control cluster here that is easy and simple to use. The Highlander is different from, you know, the Sequoia, because the Sequoia, like the Tundra, has more buttons than you know what to do with on the darn thing. This simplifies it down to what is necessary in button form, in my opinion. So it definitely reduces how much cluster you have on there, but it is a really nice one. Of course, with the Sequoia, you do get a larger screen though too, so there is benefits to that. But that said, this is obviously much more nimble, much more efficient. Down below that, we do have obviously start stop button for the vehicle, USB-C charger here, another USB-C. Now that one also will connect you to the radio, so that's your standard USB connection. We do have our view button, because this does have the 360-degree camera, which is really helpful. I love the vehicles that have it, so it's one of those things that if next vehicle I get will pretty much have that. One thing that I found interesting over on the passenger side, there's another USB charge port over on the dash, which is really handy. You do have this nice little cubby that's for like sunglasses, things like that. You still do have a full glove box there as well, and heated and cooled seats. Just a lot of the nicer benefits that you would get on a more modern vehicle that's fully equipped. Now this does have lane assist, things like that, and so you get this driver cluster here that does have the cameras built into it, or tracking capability, so it knows if and when you're paying attention to the road, which if you've ever used a Toyota or Lexus vehicle that has this, can be really annoying at times, because even if you're not really looking away so much, but it looks like maybe your head's off to the side a little bit, that sucker will bring up a notice, and it'll ding too, so it gets really annoying sometimes. So that's one thing that I wish they would put a little bit more leniency on, because it's like I look away for a couple seconds to check anything. I'm not taking my eyes off the road so much, but it's gonna ding, and then my passengers are gonna ask me, what is that? You know, so I will say that. Down below there, we do have a storage area. We do have a couple cup holders, obviously my coffee right here. Now this is interesting. We do have a Qi charger and another storage area here, and the Qi charger works really well, and it works with my iPhone fully. And now I'm gonna try to see if I can get this to do this, because I swear there's a motor in there that moves the Qi charger underneath there around, so depending on where you place your phone. I don't know if you heard that, and maybe I can try this again. There, you can hear it. And I think I had my phone too far out, it's not pushed back all the way. That has got to be one of the best chargers, because it actually will charge your phone, and it'll find where the sweet spot for your phone is and charge it. That's awesome. All right, moving along from the awesome charger on this guy, we have a nice center console. Now we do have some controls here for traction control, different drive modes and things like that. Kind of normal what you get: Eco Sport, mud and sand, rock and dirt, snow, downhill assist. Then we have our center console that has a smaller opening to it, even though down below is actually decently sized, and you do have a shelf in there that you can take out. And then this is something that I mean, I always point out every time, if I can get it to point out here, there is a 12-volt plug in there. That's something I didn't think was going to be controversial, but I actually talked to somebody that has a newer Chevy vehicle, and they don't have a 12-volt plug anywhere, which I find hard to believe, but I haven't been in one of the newer ones, so I didn't know that was going to be controversial, I guess. Up above, do have another sunglass holder for the driver, and then we do have a panoramic roof. Let's go ahead and open up the shade. Lovely there. Obviously you can see the crossbars and everything in there, but we also do have the ability to open up this big, huge pane of glass. So lovely ability to get some more air in here, even as big as that piece of glass actually is. And you can also do the vent mode as well, like that. And then we can close it, and we can close that so we don't get as much sun on us. Moving on to the middle row, which do have captain's chairs. Now they do have manual moving here and here, right? So this is going to be the forward and backward of it. And then here, this is actually going to be folding it up, so I'm not going to do that right now, but it folds the seat down flat, which I'll do here in a minute. Let's see here, we get the center console here where we have climate control, heated and cooled seats in the middle row as well. We do have our 2 USB-C chargers. We do have a 1500 watt 120 volt plug, so that's pretty awesome. Lots to love about the middle row. Now, I will say, because it is a third row, the legroom here is not amazing. Now, of course, the driver's seat and the passenger seat are actually leaning back. You can kind of see that, which is a comfortable way for me to drive and everything, but I could actually move that forward a little bit, get a little bit more legroom back here. They do have a cup holder here in the middle, which is really handy as well for the middle row. But yeah, and then we do have shades here as well. So a lot to love about this setup, but let's get to the third row. Okay, so moving on to the third row, let's take up here. There's another lever up here. It's hard to see with the sun being what it is. Geez, that'll let you to fold it down or fold it forward, so you can slide it forward to get into this back seat, which I'm going to do now. And I'm gonna go ahead and slide this back all the way. Even with it all the way back, I'm sitting up. You know, I'm not gonna say I have a ton of room. I'm 5'11". So headroom, I do have a couple inches, not a terrible amount. So this is obviously where you're gonna put your younger passengers. You know, adults can sit back here for at least short periods, not too bad, but you are sitting pretty upright with your legs, very 90 degree. So long trips would not be the most comfortable. Now you could technically not slide the middle seats back as far and gain a lot more leg room, but of course the middle seat passengers are gonna lose. So you're gonna have to play that balance with this guy as well. Now you do have USB-C charging back here on both sides as well. I'm just gonna show you this side just because it's easier with the sunlight being it is. And then on both sides as well, you do have these cup holder wells as well, so it's really handy there. That said, back here on the side, you have the fold-up feature, which can actually gain you a little bit of space by leaning it back a little bit. So you can kind of see how much further I'm leaning this back, which now allows me to lean back and get a lot more room. Now, of course, that's going to depend on the luggage, right? Now, I'll leave the seat exactly like it is, and we're going to take a peek at the luggage department next. All right. So with using all 3 rows, you still have a decent amount of room back here, but if you do lean that seat back, it's gonna cut into it. Now I'm gonna leave this back here. We're gonna actually put some luggage in here to see what it actually looks like in the end, but that is something to say. There's our JBL subwoofer, another 15-watt AC plug back here. Let's see if there's anything under here. I haven't looked under here yet. Just minimal storage. There's the flap for the storage area should you want it. So yeah, that's it. And that flap actually isn't for back here. It's if you fold the 3rd row down, it goes in right there, and then you have coverage over the entire back area. If you're not using the 3rd row, you can just fold those flat and use it all for storage. But we're gonna pretend like we're using all 3 and see how much storage it has. So these are all carry-on pieces of luggage to start. And this is, so you could actually get a 5th one in here. Let's actually see if I take, this is empty and this is light. Yeah, I could get a 5th one. Now, of course, with this seat back like it is, I don't know if this will shut, but let's find out. Yeah, you're not gonna get, you might get 5. It'd be really tight because it, as you'll see here in a second, this got pushed over because of the rounded nature of this with this seat back. Now, of course, if you didn't have the seat back, put it up just even a little bit, more than enough room for 5 carry-ons. Now, what about if you don't just do carry-ons? I do have a checked bag as well. If I put that in there like that, I want to find out if that's going to close like that. And I wonder if, geez, that's, holy cow. No problem. 4 carry-ons and a checked bag. You could actually do 2 carry-ons and probably 2 or 3 checked bags in this guy without putting the 3rd row down at all. And you could probably even get more if you stacked things. That's mainly because we have a wider space here than the actual carry-ons are. Holy cow. Okay, you could get 6 carry-ons in this guy and stuff on top. That's pretty awesome. Okay, we do have to do our engine bay look. No gas shocks, it does have the stick, but actually a lot of space in here. That's our 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. Not bad. So that's it. Pretty awesome vehicle. Drives really good, drives really quiet. That's actually what most people have said. Well, I would smooth and really quiet. So passengers I've had in the back like it as well. Now this gets, for as big as this vehicle is, which has a lot of space in it, it gets 27 miles to the gallon. So I think it's 27 highway in-city rated, and it is an efficiency wonder because of how big it is. Now I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with it, just like I thoroughly enjoyed my time with the Highlander. I love a lot of Toyota's products, don't get me wrong, I really do. There are a few that I wouldn't buy. This specific one, if I had the need for a 3-row SUV, this probably would be one of the top vehicles on my list. I love the hybrid technology in this guy. I love the fuel economy for the capacity it has. And in all reality, it's got a lot of room in it. It's got a lot of capability to it. Now, one thing I do wish is that if you're not going to be using that 3rd row, I wish you were able to push the middle row seats back a little bit more so that you could just get a lot more legroom to the middle row passengers when you're not using the 3rd row anyway. But you can't. And of course that comes down to folding the 3rd row seats and everything. So I understand why they don't, or you can't do it, but it is still a wish. So that's the one thing that I would say that I noticed, at least in my time with it, that I would change if I could. That's it. That's my review on the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander. Now, like I said, this is the Hybrid Max package with the platinum trim. It's got all the bells and whistles. It stickers at like 67,000, which also, in my opinion, for what it is and how many things this thing has, is not sitting too bad. So well done, Toyota. Great job on this guy. And hopefully I'll catch you back here on techgooch for another future video review. I do have more coming. So thanks a lot for watching to the end of this one. We'll see you again soon right here on techgooch. Thanks for stopping by.